and welcome to my channel. My name's Jade. If you're new to this channel, please press the red subscribe button and the little bell so you can receive notifications each time I upload a video. Today I want to talk to you about cooked food addiction. Now this is something that some people will say, what is she on about? Is she bonkers? And if you don't understand it, if you haven't been in the raw vegan movement, if you haven't taken cooked foods out of your diet, you won't understand. And you will think I'm off my rocker. You think, what are you talking about? I've eaten cooked food since birth. Yes, we have eaten cooked food since birth. Hence, we're so addicted to it. And it's never been something I really want to have spoken about. I've spoken about it a few times on my channel, and the reason being is always afraid of the backlash. Now, there's sort of three things you should never talk about with people, and that's religion, politics, and food. And it doesn't matter what level of eating you're talking about, it triggers people to get upset. It triggers people to get angry. Why does it trigger people? Because it has you questioning your own eating habits. Nobody wants to have their little comfort zone disrupted. And I understand, because nobody, including me, likes having that comfort zone disrupted. But if we are having problems, if we are facing health issues, if we are facing weight issues, if we are facing uncontrollable binge eating, we have to start looking at what we can do to rectify this situation. Now, for most people, what I'm about to say is going to be like, that's pretty radical. But for people who've already stepped into the raw vegan movement and you're there, and you're just treading water and you're going up and you're going down and you're going up and down, and oh my goodness, this isn't working for me, I'm insane. I've been through it all, especially with that little monkey on my back. Go and have the pizza, go and have the pasta, go and have the noodles, go and have this. You want it, you'll be all right, you'll be okay. Next thing you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days later, I'm still eating everything. And my body becomes inflamed, I'm covered in rashes, I'm fatigued, I'm drained, I'm like a zombie. And it's not a nice feeling. It's not a good feeling, and it's horrible to be on that constant binge cycle. The binge, raw vegan, fasting, whatever cycle that you've put yourself over and over and over and over again. Now, over the last 20 months, I have managed to get myself back on the raw vegan bandwagon, so to speak. I fell off for 4 months, and prior to that I was 2 years raw. So I have a reasonable amount of experience with eating raw food. I fell off, as I said, about 20 months ago. Well, it would have been 24 months ago. I fell off for 4 months. And I declared, this is how much power the cooked food had over me. I declared I was never ever going back to raw veganism, to the extent where I was cooking my breakfast, lunch and dinner, and I was even thinking about ways to cook my fruit, because I was like, I don't want to go back there. And that was all in my head, that was all in my mind, that was all, I don't want to be part of that. And I ended up getting extremely inflamed in the body. My headaches returned, my insomnia returned, all my nasal issues returned. When I say nasal issues, anyone who's known me long term has said, oh my God, I've never seen you without a tissue in your hand. I used to blow my nose all the time. I still get sinus issues. I'm allergic to everything. Like, I'm allergic to life. I should literally be in a bubble. My long-term partner calls me bubble girl, because that's how sensitive I am. It takes nothing for my body to just go rash or inflamed or feel sick. It's just, I have real sensitivities to things, and the cleaner my body's getting, the more sensitive I am to things, because my body's like, no, you're such a temple. So I react even further, but I think it's more that I'm more aware of things, whereas before I just had constant headaches all the time. I lived on Panadol and Panadeine Forte all the time because my headaches were so bad. I was always using steroid creams because I was covered in rash all the time. I was always lazy. I was tired. I had no energy. I was overweight. My body was inflamed. All these different things I had, but I just accepted, well, that's what it is. Whereas now I take notice, oh, I've eaten that, I don't feel good, that's reacted to my body. Okay, that's a problem, that's another issue, that's something else I cannot have in my diet. And my diet's becoming more and more limited, but that's okay. But what I want to talk to you about is the cooked food addiction and how much of a pull it can have on your lifestyle. To the extent even spices, and spices are a big thing in the raw vegan movement. You only have to click on the hashtag raw vegan and, you know, there's things with smoked paprika, Cajun powder, pumpkin spices, you know, cinnamon, all these different spices, vanilla, all these spices that make your food more tantalizing and give you that feeling of normality. And when I say normality, what we've always known. We have grown up, and especially now, we're in a world where there's just every flavor you can imagine and every cuisine you can imagine, especially in the Western world. There's nothing you can't, your palate can't be tantalized by. And all of a sudden you put yourself in the raw vegan movement and eating raw food, and you're like, it's a bit bland, it's a bit bland. Oh, I'll add this, I'll add this. Oh yeah, it tastes like that. However, these spices can trigger your body to crave cooked food once again. And this is like a bomb I'm just like throwing down, because nobody wants to hear that. Nobody, and especially people in the raw vegan movement. I don't even want to hear it. Most of the time when I hear people say, I roll my eyes and I think, oh my God, I don't want to hear this. I need my spices. But I'm now going into day 8 following 80-10-10 to the T, to the absolute T. And I've never ever followed it so strictly before. And I have been a huge promoter of 80-10-10 for years. And I've always kept spices, I've always kept liquid aminos in my diet, I've always kept nutritional yeast, probably not to the extent I used to. I've always kept cashew nuts in my diet. I probably haven't been as diligent as I should be weighing and measuring my fat, and I'm doing all of that. I'm doing absolutely all of that, and I'm leaving nothing to chance. I mean, I'm getting my plates of food. This has been measured. This has been measured, not on a weight loss perspective, not where we used to, I'm an old Weight Watcher girl, not where I used to weigh everything to make sure I didn't have too much. I'm weighing stuff to make sure I have enough carbohydrates in order to not be triggered to want to binge. And these days when I binge, it's never on cooked food, but it is on nuts. And in, you know, cashews included, which aren't raw. I know you don't want to hear that. And I don't want to sit here as a militant vegan and raw vegan and judge anybody, because that's not what I'm here to do. Because we're all at some different level, we're all at different levels, and I know I would never be where I am now without the addition of spices and stuff like that, just making it so I can sail through this lifestyle. But I'm sick of having this monkey on my back, and it's been there for a long time. And the battle is so real. And, you know, spices can trigger lots of different things. I mean, we binge eat for a lot of different reasons. Under-eating, number one reason why anyone will binge eat on a raw vegan lifestyle. Dr. Graham even writes in his book, the number one reason why people fail is they under-eat. You know, all these people, these do-gooders, listen to your body, listen to your body. No, we don't know how to listen to our body. We don't have any understanding of the volume that we need to have on a raw vegan lifestyle, especially when new. So seriously, make sure you're eating enough, because that's the number one trigger. Number two, we can emotionally eat, you know, and addiction has been a big thing for me. I've openly admitted on my channel that I've beaten a lot of addictions, including alcohol. So I understand addiction well, and I've been studying addiction for 12 years. It's something so passionate to me because it's consumed my life. And food addiction has been no different. Actually, food addiction is probably the hardest addiction to overcome, because we give up drinking. We don't go into places where we drink. You know, we can avoid those situations. Smoking, again, avoid. Food, I have to eat. So for me, I really, really, really want to strip everything back as far as I can go and practice true food abstinence. Now, true food abstinence is removing all spices, removing onion, removing garlic, which I haven't had garlic in my diet for about 8 or 9 months now. And not to say if I went into a raw vegan restaurant and it had it in there, I would eat it. I'm not a princess. But it's just something I've chosen to pull out of my diet. I can just always, the next day, I can taste it coming through my pores and everything, and it's just gross. So, garlic, these 3 things I am pulling out of my diet. And that's huge. It is huge for a raw vegan to start taking that next step. And look, for some people, you've moved straight into fruit and you've moved or straight into greens, and it's been a easy sailing for you. But for me, it hasn't been. Nothing in my life is ever smooth sailing, because my life is just woo, and I never know where I am or what I'm doing. And there's just, you know, I have a family, I travel, I work in Vietnam. It's just a constant roller coaster. There's always roadblocks and things that are put in front of my face that I have to overcome, which then puts this monkey back on my back. And I don't want to hear whispers anymore. And when I have spices and when I'm stressed, it takes me into a memory, and memories are a huge part of food addiction. Don't underestimate memories, because when we are stressed, when we are upset, when we're trying to overcome a battle, our brain, it's like a computer, it'll go and it'll take you into a good place. It wants to take you into a good place. Your brain goes into flight or fight mode, and its whole job is to protect you. It wants to protect you. It doesn't want you feeling blah, okay? So while we're having these trigger moments, what's all of a sudden happening is you're taken into a place. It might be, you know, oh, pizza, I remember having that. You know, we're not hearing all that stuff going on in our brain, but your brain's going, loop, doop, doop. Yep, this is where she was, in a good place. Yep, this is what she needs to be eating. I recall those spices. Those spices were with that food, that lasagna. That was a great moment. Boom. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you say, I feel like lasagna. And you don't even know why you're all of a sudden craving it, because you're sitting there eating, but you might be upset or depressed or sad or stressed or whatever you want to call it, and all of a sudden this trigger comes up. So for me, because I know my life's never going to be 100% smooth sailing. I've had dreams of it. I've had true dreams, but it never will happen. And I'm a realist, you know, I know that. So I'm going to have ups and downs, and I'm learning more and more to be able to cope with my emotions and be able to do other things, walk, breathe. I've been taking up meditation, falling into prayer, all different things that are helping me be able to cope with day-to-day incidentals that can build up and cause long-term stress. But I can't stop what goes on in that computer in my brain when I'm feeling like that. So for me, I don't want to put any more triggers into my body. So I am removing all triggers, and I thought it was going to be quite difficult. But you know what? It's not. And even yesterday, I did have a few salt cravings, and that's because the day before, I didn't make my trusty green juice, which I usually have every day. I got disorganized, and I don't think I ate enough greens. So last night I made up my green juice. I had a huge green juice. I'm having another one this morning. I plan to have 2 today to ensure I get my sodium hit. And I made up a soup with celery and tomato, getting more of that fix in, and I made up a dip. And this was a real turning point because I'm a dipper. I like the dipper. But I soaked some sunflower, some pumpkin seeds, and I blended them up with some celery, some zucchini, and my head saying, you really need some onion in there. You really need some onion powder too. You need this. And I'm like, nah. What can I put? So I put some dried apricots, as I usually do on my dip, just to thicken it up. And I put some pineapple, and it was beautiful. And I sat there dipping it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I can do this. I'm going to move down this new track, and I'm going to finally start to get some real control over this. Boom! I want to beat the cravings. I want to be in total control. And some people watching this might think, oh my God, this girl is totally, you know, orthorexic. She's totally obsessed with her health. No. I'm obsessed with me being in control of what's on my plate, not the opposite way around. I am sick of food controlling me, and I have had food control me for so many years. I've had addictions control me for so many years, and it's just been masked with one addiction after the other. Get rid of one addiction, another one. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be in control. I am master of my own mind, and that is what is important to me. So I'm going to continue to post different videos about food addiction. A girl wrote into me today and said you're becoming quite the cooked food addiction master, and that's what I really want to start priding myself in. I have, you know, I studied to be, I am a counsellor, and I have taken many courses in addiction because that is my thing, that is my niche. And I really, really, really want to start putting everything I have learned over the years on addiction and start bringing it to you to help you further on your health journey. My name's Jade. Please subscribe to my channel, give us a like, leave a comment below. It's really important to me that I can interact with people, and I can know what people are wanting and what people are needing, so I can offer that to you. And most importantly, love life, live free, and be kind to the #1 person in your life, you. Thanks for watching.